So into the charts we go. We can see that after yesterday's sharp decline, we've had a small bounce. But I think the thing to take note of here, look at how the bounce stalled just prior to this trend line. And again, this is the trend line that connects the most pivot highs along this consolidation before we had the breakout candle here, which, by the way, never confirmed and also occurred on a Sunday. And again, I cautioned everyone yesterday to just be fully aware that when you get a big move in crypto on a weekend, be very suspicious of it. Because again, big traders, big investors, big institutions, they are not trading on the weekends. I guarantee you a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern time, they're not rushing to do a $1 billion trade. It just isn't happening. Especially because you have so many influences on crypto from the bond market, from interest rates, from the dollar, from the stock market, which again are closed during that period. So again, we'll see how things trade out here at this point, but right now, a little bit of a bounce today. Nothing to write home about at this point, but again, we're still holding just below that trend line. Now again, the big thing I said yesterday, and it continues to be, is watch this base point. This low and this low are basically identical, creating this trend line. If we break below 22,300, that's where things start to get more interesting for crypto, as you likely would sell down to 21.3, and if we break that, then you're talking about a retrace back to 18.3. Now, one thing to just point out, you have to keep in mind that when you see the types of moves that we have seen over the last, let's say, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and again, number one, coming into January, I talked about an up move in crypto, in stocks, etc., because of the January effect. Now, did I know crypto was going to make this type of move? No. Honestly, this was an amazing rip-your-face-off rally, which is what occurs in bear markets. But I'll tell you this, when you see the meme stocks running, when you see crypto running like this, and the bullishness exude from crypto so quickly to get back to levels not seen since we were at 60+ thousand, it is more often than not, historically, a top signal of a move versus a bottom. And that continues to have me very concerned that we still have not made the lows in crypto, or at the very least, we need to trade back down to these lows back down there, okay? All right, so again, just be on high alert. There's a reason why I'm inching into some shorts here. We have some shorts. They're mostly in the money, which is fantastic. Yes, I still have some exposure to Bitcoin, to Polkadot as well. But again, we've unloaded a lot of our longs over the last month into this move, and I think that was the right decision based on the charts, based on the technicals. All right. Let's go quickly to Ethereum here, see what we got on this front. Ethereum, very small bounce, still in the money on this short. The level to watch, just like we had one on Bitcoin, is this upsloping trend line. If we break below that, currently around 1535, then you start seeing a bigger decline towards this area right here. All right, you're talking about 1330-ish, give or take. To the upside, this level here will remain a little bit of resistance, this flat line, but the upsloping one is really the bigger one to me. All right, and again, I'm trying to get that line as exact as possible. So if we were to make another move up, this line would be the resistance. Interestingly enough, we have this flat one going across, right? So if we take that line and extend it out, these two lines essentially are going to meet somewhere over here, and that would be an epically big resistance level. Okay, going to Polkadot real quick, which again is a long signal we still have. Out of the money by a little bit here. Yesterday, nice little downshift, a little bit of a minor bounce today. To be honest, this chart does not look great at this point. Just like a lot of the crypto charts after the reversals, it does not look good. Okay, now it doesn't mean it can't, hold. You see these little lows right here. So that's obviously the low here as well. That is support. You got a little support there, but it's not a mega size support level. And I think, again, if you look at the U.S. dollar and the impact on risk assets, if the dollar is getting close to bouncing, which is what the chart is showing, and we'll bring up the DXY, and look at the dollar starting to move up a little bit, that's something to watch here. By the way, the dollar was up today pretty sharply, right? So at one point today, and by the way, this is the daily chart. It doesn't look really that big, but I want to show you this, right? So early in the day, the dollar was all the way up here, and really throughout the day, it faded. All right, there's the stock market actually got a significant rally off of the initial open as the dollar was pulling back. So you did see kind of this risk-on move as the dollar was fading off of those highs. Now, tomorrow is the Federal Reserve. Okay, so that's going to be the kicker. Here you have a dollar that's hovering just above support. When the Fed says their piece tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and by the way, I'm going to go live, not in the service. I'm going to do it more as a just an open for everyone type live event. But I'm going to go live around 1:50 p.m. Eastern time, 10 minutes before the Fed. I'll probably go till about 10 minutes after the Fed. But again, that is going to be something that's going to be big, because whatever the Fed says, you're going to see a reaction in the currency markets, in the dollar. And if the dollar starts to spike, I would guarantee risk assets sell off, and vice versa. If the dollar starts to fall based on, let's say, a dovish Fed, then you'll see the markets and crypto start to bounce higher. Okay, so watch that tomorrow. All right, let's go back to some other ones. Let's take a look at Solana. Solana barely a bounce today. So again, what I love about Solana here and being short right now, this upsloping trend line, we're borderline breaking it. We haven't broken it yet, but we're very, very close. We break this, you start to get a bigger move to the downside. We could easily test this $20 level here and eventually head towards about $17.65 to $75. That's what I think is where we're headed, honestly, on a retrace on Solana. All right, taking a look at Avalanche. And Avalanche, again, we're still in the money on this decently as well. And again, it ran into some major resistance on this pretty epic spike higher after this long move. And this is just, you see a chart like this, it's extended, but then you start mapping in some of the technicals, and that's really where it gets very, very interesting. And by the way, just another thing to throw out at you, take a look at this, right? So look at that. So basically 50% fib retrace right here, and that's right at that same level too. So I love, and I'll just throw this out to you guys, I love when fib level retraces match up with technical pivots, meaning that, see this high here, right, with that high, and that's also the 50% retrace. Now, if we made another move up, take a look at this. The 618 is right here as well. So that's also interesting to just take note of. So, again, just interesting to use those fibs. I don't look at them all the time, but I do like when you have these very sharp moves inside of bigger down moves. To me, it's very useful to kind of take a look at the fibs as well and see if they align with the chart levels. All right, we'll go quickly through a few other cryptos out there. BNB just getting a small bounce today. Again, downsloping trend line there. Nothing new to report on that. Again, nice little dip yesterday on XRP, little bit of a bounce, but still staying under resistance on this. And just keep in mind, a lot of things can make moves tomorrow on the Fed, and you'll see all of these cryptos make an up or down move off of the Fed. I'm sure of it at this point. Looking at Matic here, see what we got on that one. Matic had a nice pullback yesterday, a little bit of a bounce today, nothing to write home about there. And we'll look at Chainlink and then Uniswap too. But again, nice down move, small bounce, nothing there as well. And again, you can just see a lot of these. These are pretty much all the same chart exactly here on Uniswap. Down move, small bounce. So the bottom line is, guys, be ready tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and then there's a 2:30 press conference. That's going to be fantastically epic, in my opinion. So let's go into this, be ready for a move. But again, I like the positioning here. I wouldn't even mind having some more shorts on the table, but I have to let the charts dictate that when they hit those levels, and we will take it again from that point. But be ready for some action tomorrow, no doubt about it. Fed day, 2 p.m., and then 2:30 press conference. Take care.